This is Border Crossings. I'm Larry London. I'll join you here for today's show as we welcome singer-songwriter Noah Gundersen. The oldest of 5 children growing up in Washington State, Noah studied piano at 13 and decided to leave home at 18 to pursue a career in music. Noah's music has been featured in popular American TV shows like Vampire Diaries and Sons of Anarchy and was nominated for an Emmy. He has toured internationally with the likes of Emmylou Harris, Beck, and many more, and his new CD is called White Noise. Noah Gundersen has released 7 EPs and 2 studio albums. The latest made him feel as if he were dying, which he will explain on today's show. Stay tuned for Noah Gundersen coming up on today's Border Crossings. Hi, welcome to Border Crossings. My name is Larry London, and today we are joined by an artist who likes to push the boundaries. He's put out his 3rd album. The album is called White Noise. Touring around the United States right now, we welcome to our VOA studios Noah Gundersen. Welcome to DC.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you guys here, and you're here with your sister.
Yeah, Abby.
Abby,
yeah.
Welcome. And so you guys have been together doing this now for quite a number of years as a group, I guess.
Yeah, we started touring together when Abby was 15 or 16 and I was about 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was called Courage or something like that?
Well, it was always under my name. We had a group for a while called The Courage, but it's always been a thing that's kind of been under the Noah Gundersen umbrella.
Mm-hmm. And you have a big family. We were talking about that a little while ago. Mm-hmm. And so are they all a part of this band or this act, or is this...
My brother plays drums in the group. Mm-hmm. He's been touring with us for a couple of years now. And then my younger sister Lizzie is also a singer-songwriter who's putting out her EP sometime next year. Mm-hmm. Super talented kid.
So, you know, music, I guess, was a major part of your life growing up. Your father taught you to play the piano?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, my dad wrote his own songs, and we just grew up with a lot of music around the house. And we were all in piano lessons growing up, which I hated. But, you know, I've actually kind of returned to the piano with this new record, and I'm actually pretty grateful for some of those fundamental musical skills. So your path was kind of determined at an early age. There was no other thing. There's nothing else I really wanted to do. Yeah, it was always just music. Mm-hmm. And I didn't, you know, I started young enough touring that didn't really have anything to lose.
And now you're 7 EPs and 3 albums in?
That sounds like a lot. I don't know if 7 EPs is right, but
I counted 7 and a live album. And
there's been a few for sure. Yeah,
you lose count after a while.
Yeah, we've done 3 full-length records. White Noise is the 3rd full-length.
And I read where you had said that you lost the passion, or something was missing. You didn't want to do this anymore. You felt, I don't know, there was something wrong. There was a disconnect. Can you explain what was wrong?
Yeah, I kind of just lost interest in what I was making. Mm-hmm. I was doing a lot of kind of confessional singer-songwriter music, and it just I didn't feel like I could connect to it anymore. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of went through about a year of trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to make, and that ended up being White Noise.
So what is the difference now in White Noise? What can we expect from White Noise that, let's say, the last studio album didn't contain?
The other records are pretty straightforward, like I said, confessional singer-songwriter. Mm-hmm. White Noise is a little more expansive musically, and lyrically it's a little more abstract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was trying to understand some of the bio, trying to interpret some of it was spiritual, there was quite a bit of abstract. So what exactly is White Noise to you? I mean, as you sat and put the album together, what was the vision you had in your mind, and did you create the vision you were after?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the idea was to process like some of the anxiety and fear and just uncertainty of the culture that I was feeling, you know, that I was surrounded by, and that a lot of us were feeling over this last year. And also without, you know, being specifically topical or anything. Like I didn't set out to write any kind of like protest song or anything. I just wanted to kind of get some of this stuff out of my system but that was also affecting the culture, that wasn't just about me and my feelings. And I feel like we accomplished that with the record.
Great. Well, we're going to check you out if you guys wouldn't mind doing some music
Sure,
for us right now. Noah Gundersen.
This is a song called After All. After all, I wouldn't hold my breath, blow up dawn in the great Midwest. I would, if you asked me to, give it to you straight. Doesn't mean I want to. Freak out, let the whole room spin. Sad eyes, bad dreaming. I want everything all the time, but nothing ever
Very nice. Very nice. Noah Gundersen, live here on The Voice of America. And so white noise is an interesting name. It's something a lot of people use it to sleep, to help them sleep. A lot of people rely on white noise. It can be different things to different people. So why did you choose white noise to be, the name that you wanted to associate with this album?
I think because of the overwhelming amount of data that we're always consuming, we're kind of drowning in advertising and in media constantly. Also, Don DeLillo's book White Noise, this how it kind of deals with mortality, and some of just the absurdities of that book were inspiring to me.
And some of your previous work was inspired by Neil Young.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're kind of an old soul, I guess. Neil Young is timeless, but he's something we associate with the 70s and 80s. But so this new album, where are the influences coming?
They're all over the place. There was several periods when we were getting ready to make this record where I was, thinking about what I wanted it to sound like, and there was a phase where it's very like Radiohead sounding, and then very like Nine Inch Nails or Paul Simon or Nick Cave, So from a lot of different places, Beatles, you know.
A diverse background. Well, it's great that does the album, is there a thread when you listen to the music? Is there a story? Is there one, or, you know?
It's not so much linear. I think I tried to leave enough room so that people could make their own interpretations about it.
Mm-hmm. And when you write music, is it about, obviously it's about things that influence you and things that you observe, because if this is, you know, timely and based on circumstances that are affecting the world today. But are there a lot of songs that you lived these songs, that you've written these songs that are about your own experiences?
There's a few. Yeah, there's a few.
Very personal songs. So you're touring right now, and this is a U.S. tour.
Yeah.
And so after this, a world tour, or?
After this, we go home for a couple weeks, and then we go back out again for another U.S. tour, and then back, and then over to Europe, and then back here. We're basically just gonna be on tour a lot for about the next year and a half.
So do you go to Europe often? Is that?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah,
that's great. And you enjoy playing there? I mean, the fans must be different everywhere you play.
Yeah,
and the way they receive your music and the way they respond to it.
Yeah, European fans are very attentive during shows. There's a big market for kind of Americana singer-songwriter stuff over there. So
is that what you'd call yourself, Americana?
It used to be more Americana. Now I have no idea.
Unique,
sure,
and one of a kind. All right, Noah Gundersen is here to promote the new album, White Noise, album number 3, which just came out, I understand, in September. So congratulations on that. I guess the tour is going great for you.
It's going well. Yeah.
More shows. You said 6 shows in a row.
Yeah, today starts we play in D.C. here tonight, and it's the first of 6 shows in a row.
Wow, that's a grind. You know, there's a lot of driving around, a lot of loading and unloading.
A lot of unloading and unloading. Yeah, indeed.
Your life is loading and unloading. That's kind of what it is between writing songs.
Feel like that sometimes. Yeah.
All right, would you guys do another song for us?
Sure. Yeah.
What's this one called?
This is a song called Fear and Loathing. Daddy's got a gun. He's gonna hurt someone. Trying to overcome in fear and loathing. He got fall down drunk, trying to fill his cup. More goes down than up in fear and loathing. No one gets a break in this town. They're closing all the local joints down. There's nothing left for us here now. In fear and loathing. Mama got knocked up. 17 years young. Said she fell in love in fear and loathing. No one gets a break in this town. They're closing all the local joints down. There's nothing left for us here in fear and loathing. Nothing changes much. The quarterback's a drunk. The prom queen just gave up in fear and loathing. In fear and loathing, in fear and loathing.
All right. Noah Gundersen, live here on The Voice of America today, joining us in our D.C. studios and on tour for the new album White Noise. And so one of the things that I read about you was that there was a time that you had dreadlocks. And that, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I came across. Is that a true statement?
That is a true statement.
And you took them from one of your musical inspirations, Adam Duritz? That was not the truth.
No.
You just did that on your own.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people associated you with that look. He was never one of your influences, or from Counting Crows?
I listened to that band, yeah. I like that band. I didn't change my hair for it, though.
And I see a lot of artwork on your hands. So where did that artwork come from? I mean, what are there's usually stories involved in it? People's tattoos.
No stories.
Nothing.
No. I just I have tattoo artists that I like, and I like tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
So
you just get things done. And you said 1979 was something on your fingers there, which is
yes.
personal to you?
Yeah. It's from my mom.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, how have you changed as a songwriter over the years? Because you wrote your first songs, I guess, when you were about 13.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you find yourself today compared to when you first started? Obviously, you've got more life experience than you had then, but how has your music changed?
I mean, you'd have to listen to it to tell the difference. I mean, I've changed as a person, so my art has changed, and I think that's just, I couldn't tell you how it's changed. It's just, you have to.
How do you think you've changed as a person? I mean, you seem very laid back. Has he always been a laid back, quiet kind of guy?
Well, I haven't had my coffee at this
point. Is that it? You need your morning coffee.
Might be part of it.
Then we see the other Noah.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I'm 28 now. I started writing songs when I was 13, so, we've been touring for 10 years, and just seen a lot. And changed as people, and I think that gets reflected in the work. It's how do you say how you've changed as a person? Because you only see the world through your current lens, right?
Right.
You can look back at how you maybe looked at things in the past, but you're still seeing that lens through the current lens.
So there's more changing yet to come, is it safe to say?
I hope so.
All right. Because, are there other kinds of albums that you want to do?
Yeah. I mean, I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, so I have a few different projects that I'm working on, and, this record was great because it kind of allowed me to do a lot of different things and set me up to be able to kind of make whatever record I want to make in the future. And that was part of the idea, was to not just make a singer-songwriter record, because that was just... I felt like I had hit a ceiling with that and was limited by the construct.
Which is your favorite part of the business? Is it the songwriting? Is it the performing? What do you like most?
Just doing interviews.
Yeah, I'll bet. I can tell this is your favorite part of the business.
Yeah. I don't know. I love being in the studio and recording. I think the idea of making something out of nothing is pretty magical. But then, playing a great show is a kind of high that you don't really get from anything else. When you are giving everything and then the audience is giving it back, and you get in a feedback loop of this energy that's really special. And that doesn't happen every night, but we try. You know, we do our best.
Yeah. How do you? I mean, I always found it interesting from my own perspective as a musician. Some nights are going great, and some nights aren't going great. What's the difference?
There's so many factors. It can be, you know, how little you slept the night before, or you know, the energy in a room. You know, how just what people showed up with.
Interesting.
There's there's so many things. The room itself, you know, I think plays a big part in that.
And your music has appeared on some pretty popular TV shows, Sons of Anarchy and Vampire Diaries, to name a couple. How do you get music on those shows? I mean, how did that all come together for you?
They reached out to us. Sons of Anarchy, I think they just, I think they found it on iTunes or something. But and then some other stuff is coming through the label or through the publishing company.
Vampire Diaries, very popular show, you know, among young people. So that's a great place to be heard.
I guess so.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And of course on YouTube.
And I love vampires.
You love vampires and diaries.
And diaries. So combined.
Is Gundersen a Swedish name, German name? What's the
Norwegian?
Norwegian. All right. Well, we've got Noah Gundersen in our studios. White Noise is the new album. Would you do another song?
Yeah.
One more song for us?
Go.
What's this called?
This is a song called Bad Desire. Woman, I can't please you. I will only leave you. Sure as the night follows day. And if you start to wonder if your spell I'm under, well, honey, you should run the other way. Hold on, I'm coming home. You're giving me a bad desire. You're giving me a burning fire in my bones. And I wanna see you tonight, one last time, and go home and turn off the lights and leave you alone. Leave you alone. Woman, I got nothing to give you, and something else is always on my mind. Little love drug needle, you always make me feel like for a minute nothing here is wrong. Hold on, I'm coming home. You're giving me a bad desire. You're giving me a burning fire in my bones. And I wanna see you tonight, one last time, and go home and turn off the lights and leave you alone. Leave you alone. Oh, yeah.
desire in my bones. Honey, hold on, I'm coming home. You're giving me a bad desire, you're giving me a burning fire, you're giving me a bad desire in my bones. And I wanna see you tonight one last time.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
Noah Gundersen live here on our show, Border Crossings today. White Noise is the new album. How about you? You want to have a music career? Do you want to get your own album or tour or anything?
I actually have my own music.
See, there we go.
But I don't tour or anything. I
You
just
don't tour?
have it. Nope.
You do your own stuff? Your brother give you a chance to glow on stage, put the spotlight on you while he walks off and let you do your own thing? Or that hasn't happened yet?
It happens.
Does it?
Well, it doesn't walk off, but I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm up there.
It's interesting to combine the violin and the guitar and, you know, the progressive sounds that you guys create together. Works well.
Thank you.
It's a very nice sound. Now, the one thing I read where you describe the album, you talk about melancholy, you talk about dark. That's interesting, your own perspective on where you're coming from with this album. To read, you know, is that what, I mean, obviously you said it, so that must be what you feel about this.
If I said it, that is
If
what
you
I
said it,
feel.
it must be so.
I don't know if is that a question?
Yes, it is a question. You put out an album and you say, this is an album that's going to be dark. It's going to be sad. It's going to be somewhat depressing. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was the intention?
Oh, the intention was to make something that represented what I was seeing in the world and experiencing and processing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, great. I mean, you know, as a songwriter, it's very important to reveal yourself, to take some of the layers off and to let people get inside. Mm-hmm. And so obviously you've done that with the new album. If people want to get your album or check you out on tour, where will they go? How do they find you?
Most of it's all online. You know, if you can find an indie record store, I always try to tell people to buy the record there. Mm-hmm. But everything's on iTunes and Spotify and
how about your own websites?
And NoahGundersenMusic.com.
All right. And that's a place where they can get you on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah. And all that. Mm-hmm. Noah Gundersen.
Yeah.
Music. There's the music in part of the
NoahGundersenMusic.com.
All right.
Yeah.
So you like being an indie? Is that preferable over being signed by a big major label, or are you happy in the lane you're in right now?
I'm happy with where we're at. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think there's pros and cons to both. Mm-hmm. I think, you know, we have a lot of freedom to do what we want to do. You know, labels these days are being locked into a major label can be a thing where you, if you have the full support of the label, it can be really great. But if you don't, then you are kind of trapped in something that maybe isn't what you want to be doing.
Hmm. What's been the highlight for you so far? I know it's a cliche question, but you've been doing this for a while. So what's been your highlight so far? Aside from today's interview, beyond that, what has been the highlight?
I mean, the best part of doing this, one of the best parts of doing this job is that I get to, you know, I get to be with my family on the road, and I get to be with some of my best friends on the road. We have a great team of people. So, it's kind of like camp, you know, like where we have our bus and everyone works really hard, and there's like a lot of work elements to the tour, but at the end of the day, I get to hang out with my best buds, and that's a lot of fun.
Well, people around the world are listening to you right now, so hopefully you'll be out there performing in different parts of the world so that they can get to see you live. And until that time, pick up a copy of the new album, White Noise.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Noah, for joining us.
Yeah,
thank you too.
Yeah.
Nice to have you both here. The album is White Noise, and it's Noah Gundersen, and he's our guest. Thanks for watching. This is Border Crossings.